Hello. Welcome to Tales of Earth. The show that we film live on Twitch. Every Monday at 2 p.m. It's then uploaded to our Patreon. Patreon.com/comicstorian. For only $1, you get multiple podcasts and this one early.
And if you want to show your support for the show, check out our t-shirts.
And if you want to show your support for our show, check out our t-shirts.
Man,
Line.
You nailed that.
Line.
We need a teleprompter. That's what we need.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
I'll say a little
Some kind of teleprompter.
Or just like Dan could be holding up cue cards.
Yeah.
We just write
Dan
them on the whiteboard.
He's just permanent whiteboard boy.
Yeah.
We're gonna make that. Yeah, we're
I have
gonna
an
make
idea.
that a
For
position.
this particular episode, we should
Okay.
have Dan the whiteboard behind you. And you just draw it as we're going.
Shut up, whiteboard.
This coffee's distracting me.
Why is the
Going
whiteboard
away.
talking to us?
I don't know. He giggles too much too.
All right, guys,
All
we're starting this.
right, let's do
Okay.
this.
I thought we did start this.
We did start it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
I thought
getting
that was
us,
the intro.
I'm getting us focused. Thank you for watching or clicking on this video. Today we are actually talking about human origins. Where did we come from? But specifically, which planet did we come from? Is it Earth or is it Mars?
I thought it was the sun.
You need to redefine your celestial bodies, Benny.
Which planet? The sun.
I thought it was the planet. Superman gets his powers there.
One of the keys to understanding us just as humans, as a civilization, as a people, is understanding our origins. And many people have different theories on our origins. Some are religious, some are more scientific, some are, I don't know, conspiracy-ridden and absolutely outlandish. Today, I'm going to try to...
We're not lizards.
No, they were here
We're
first.
not lizards, Ben. We're descended from lizards.
Okay.
I hate you.
But we're not actually lizards.
I'm not.
So before I jump into this, I'm actually the main topic of today is our origin, but it is also, are we from Mars? That's the main question for today.
Yes.
Is
I'll see you guys in the next
mankind
show.
is mankind from Mars? I'm very
And is
distracted
womankind
right now.
from Venus?
Oh, you should make a book about that.
And then go back into the 80s and sell
publish
it
it.
and publish it. Yes.
Genius.
You think you can flip it around? Men are from Venus. Women are from Venus too. It's a moon.
Go ahead, Gary.
Venus 2 is a moon.
I'm making stuff up as
Yes,
I go.
you
I'm pretty
are.
Sure that's a lady's razor.
Venus too.
Yeah.
For legs.
I think so.
I hope.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay.
Come on, Gary.
I actually learned today that our atmosphere extends beyond the moon. They just discovered this.
Really?
Yeah. There's enough of our atmosphere out there that it actually expands beyond the moon. So we've never left Earth's atmosphere, ever, which is
That's sad.
sad.
I was going to say, all of our accomplishments
Yeah.
seem diminished
Yeah.
now.
We landed on the moon. We left the Earth.
But did we?
But did we?
I mean, we
Okay.
could just make a bridge and you just walk it. Bike ride for the moon.
That would...
Going on a bike
There's
ride to the moon.
so many dangerous implications with that.
No.
No, we
Just
need
a really
to,
big
yeah,
tube.
yeah, we need to tether the moon to the Earth. That won't ruin anything. Yeah, totally safe.
Like a hamster tube.
Like a hamster tube.
Can you imagine
Just go
it?
straight to it.
And just in case you get bored midway through, it zigzags a little just for adventure's sake.
Actually, I wonder how long it would. I've looked this up before, but I can't remember how long it would take to drive to the moon.
I'm looking right now.
Well, considering it's in
Isn't it
space.
something
and
like a
there's
year
no
and a half
roads.
or something like that? What?
Yeah. Considering it's space, there's no roads.
Well,
Very
you're
long
talking about hamster tubes.
That's more
Let me have
believable,
my
Gary.
dream. Let me have my dream. I'm thinking more of like an elevator to the moon. Anyway, theory number one for the origin of mankind or humankind is that humans evolved on the Earth, and we are from the Earth.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
So that relates to the theory of evolution, though, right?
Yes.
You have to believe in the theory of evolution to believe that we evolved from the Earth, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Theory number two is a theory called Panspermia. According to dictionary.com, the theory that life on the Earth originated from microorganisms or chemical precursors of life present in outer space. Wait a minute. The theory that life on the Earth originated from microorganisms or chemical precursors of life present in outer space and able to initiate life on Well, initiate life on reaching a suitable environment. That's
What was your guess for driving to the moon?
like a year and a half?
What was your guess?
6 years. I got nothing.
How long would it
If
take
we were
you?
driving 100 miles an hour, 105 years to reach our destination.
Road trip.
Did we pack enough
Don't
snacks?
sleep.
Snacks.
There's no restroom breaks, so
It's
pee before you go.
239,000 miles to the moon.
That is incredible.
It's a big
All
hamster
right.
poop.
So this concept of panspermia is basically that the building blocks or the elements of life came from somewhere else.
Right. Somebody either something like an asteroid crashed on the Earth, and the bacteria eventually became us, or aliens such as.
Isn't that like
in,
every origin
Yes.
plot in Marvel?
No. What's the movie?
Yeah.
What's the alien movie that wasn't an alien movie? Prometheus,
Prometheus.
where they show
yes.
up and they dropped off the goo.
That's one of the
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a panspermia theory. And actually this definition here is the boring definition. The more fun definition is that life was at least intentionally seeded on Earth from an alien species. My addition to this theory is that the time-traveling aliens found this planet in the middle of nowhere and decided to run an experiment.
Why are they time traveling?
I mean, if you think
I don't
about
know.
it, we could just be a giant ant farm.
They'd have to be time-traveling aliens in order to like
according to Supernatural, we're just
observe
God's experiment.
the experiment. Wait, what did you just say?
I said, if you think about it, we could just be an alien's giant ant farm.
That's
Yeah.
another conspiracy in itself, though.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. That this
So
whole
we're all
planet,
little
this whole
lizards.
yep. We're not lizards.
All right, calm down
Wait,
with
do
the
you
lizard
want
thing.
us to be lizards, or
I
you
don't
don't
want us to
not
be
want us
lizards.
to be
Mood
lizards?
changes all the time about the lizards. I don't know.
Talk Indian next to the
Theory number 3 is
Hola.
mic. Are you okay there?
It's actually kind of comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
I can sleep here.
theory number 3 is the intelligent design theory.
I
This
don't
has
think Andy and I are good to work with you on this.
I'm with him.
Maybe not.
Theory number 3 is the intelligent design.
intelligent
theory.
design theory. This has its roots in religion, mythology, and even in conspiracy circles. Intelligent design, broadly defined as also from dictionary.com, the theory that life or the universe, not don't have to be both.
Okay.
Cannot have arisen by chance and was designed and created by some intelligent entity.
Whether it be God or
Yes.
something.
So that's what
Higher-
the God theory goes.
a higher
yes,
power.
a higher power
Yes,
of
higher
some
power.
kind.
God, Buddha, Cthulhu, whatever.
Buddha didn't create life.
I don't know. What does Buddha do?
He was just an enlightened human being.
Yeah.
Why do we praise Buddha?
We don't.
Oh.
You don't. Are you Buddhist?
No.
Why'd
Then
you say
don't? And you don't praise Buddha.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel like I need to learn a little bit more about
Yeah,
Buddhism.
in strict definitions, Buddha is not a god. People
Legit,
often think
I
that
don't
he
know
is, but
anything
he's
about
not.
Buddhism other than they're monkey people.
Wow, you need to do some reading on Buddhism.
I'm sorry. Hold on. How do we jump to Planet of the Apes? Explain that. You know what? That's a different show.
Hold on. I'm actually disappointed
You got the
in
end of the
myself.
movie. You're all Buddhists.
I'm actually disappointed in myself that I know more about the Cthulhu religion than Buddhism, apparently.
Yeah. So the Eightfold Path, like nothing.
I don't know any of it.
Okay.
Buddha
All right.
in and of himself was not a god. He was
No.
just an enlightened human being that came down, more like a prophet kind of thing.
Yeah, reincarnated.
Yeah. Not
It's
an exact
it's an
prophet. I'm
offshoot
just
of
saying
Hinduism.
closer. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Sorry.
All
Which
right.
one has a Neo from the Matrix?
That's Neoism.
that's a good answer. That was good.
Neoism.
That was really
you were
good.
so straight faced
Yeah.
at that too.
Neoism.
Yeah, that was Neoism.
I follow the path of Lawrence Fishburne in that.
Fishburg.
Fishberg.
Fishburg.
Good Lord. Keep going, Gary. We're going to be here all day. Jesus life.
Oh man. Okay.
I am all over the place today.
Yes,
Today.
you are. Okay.
I feel like I could use more caffeine. Really
Now.
get on track.
The main theory I want to focus on is kind of like the panspermia theory. It's related to that.
I just like
They're-
I know I'm 35 now, but I want to giggle every time you say sperm.
Sperm. Semen.
See?
Other medical terms.
I know it's not even like the raunchy term.
No. Do you know the difference between the two?
Let's just keep going. I'm ruining this.
Okay.
This.
All right. So, where am I? Where am I?
Intelligent
What
design
is
is what
even
I
going
follow.
on? No, I know.
You did
No, I know.
intelligent design, so we're at
Yes.
number
Okay.
See, I ain't
So-
following along.
There. The question I'm trying to ask here is that what do you guys think, before we jump into this, about the idea of humankind actually being from Mars?
all joking aside,
Yes.
I like the idea of intelligent design.
Put your joking aside.
I
He said,
I like
he
the
said
idea of
all
intelligent
joking
design,
aside.
but I don't like to discount the idea that we could have just been planted here as a basic bacteria by another living civilization.
Right.
There's a lot of questionable things about us and space travel.
Yes.
Ancient alien artifacts. What do half of these things mean? How have we lost all of this data? There's a lot of things just missing in our history.
Right.
Which makes me kind of question, maybe we are some weird... What's that movie where they were fighting all the guys in the hats and stuff like that? Dark City.
Oh,
Dark City, the guys with the hats.
That really narrows it down.
Yeah,
I know.
the
But
weird
basically,
sci-fi
Matrix stole
film.
most of its ideas from. So
Well, they actually reused some of those sets.
I know, which makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
Like Dark City didn't sell. Let's do it again, but like anime-esque.
Right. So you think that it stands to reason that life on Earth, or at least human life on Earth, came from somewhere else?
I could believe if
Either
there was
as
concrete evidence,
Okay.
I could believe it.
Okay. What do you think?
I mean, same thing. I mean, because that pops up, especially the thing from us being from Mars, pops up in a lot of science fiction and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not ridiculous sounding. It would be weird that we showed up and then immediately all forgot about it, though. I feel like there would be something written down.
Some remnant.
Yes, but
That's the plot of
that is how the
Battlestar
remake
Galactica.
to Battlestar Galactica
It
ended.
is.
Yes,
You just spoiled the end of a show that
spoiler alert
ended
from
in
the early
2000
2000s.
2009.
I was saying that's the ending, though. We ended up
decade
getting on
ago.
a planet, became the new humans, and we're
And we
descendants
just
of
kind
Cylon.
of we just kind of forgot about it.
Yes.
But
we're all like part Cylon.
see, I always I'm a big believer of why does it have to be one or the other?
Okay.
You know,
Why couldn't intelligent design?
It could have been a higher power. It doesn't mean we necessarily started on Earth. We could have eventually gotten here.
Right.
We're actually trial number 4.
I mean, that's not what I meant. Like, what if the Martian god built us, and then we were like, "Oh crap, Mars is turning into a
wasteland.
wasteland.
Yeah.
Everybody hop on our ships, and we'll fly over to that bluish greenish planet over there."
Looks very friendly.
Yeah.
And they got whales, because whales are important, as Star Trek has taught me.
Okay. So
Star
I
Trek
mean,
5, the greatest one ever.
I'm not
it-
against the idea as long as
No. What?
wasn't that the search for whales or something like that?
Do you want me to get
5
off
was the
topic?
whale one, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
Such a terrible movie.
Although we do actually have transparent aluminum now. Speaking of,
Oh, yeah, nice.
Also, the movie
transparent
foretold the
aluminum is.
future.
It did.
Greatest Star Trek ever.
No.
So no,
Okay.
I think, there could be some, not truth to it, but I'm not against the idea.
Some weight.
Yeah.
It could,
Yeah,
it
some
could be a
potential.
thing.
There's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
potential. Some potential
Not
there.
leaning it out anymore.
I don't want to go whale hunting in a Star Trek.
Oh my
thing-
lord! I want to
Drink my
go
coffee when you're ready.
whale hunting in a starship.
Where's the whale? Oh, it's right there.
All right, Futurama. I just see Ben parking the spaceship and then gets out with like a fishing pole.
Okay.
But we missed Hitler in the second round.
That's fine.
There. Okay. What's interesting is that the more we study Mars, the more we study human DNA, RNA, human makeup, the more we study the history of life and everything in that realm, the more the evidence actually points to that the basic building blocks of human life may have actually come from Mars.
Okay.
If you go back, let's see here. I don't know why I put it down here. If you could travel back in time to the early stages of the solar system, some 4.5 billion years ago. Now we're going back some ways. Like last Wednesday, you wouldn't.
My concept of time isn't so great.
Yeah.
What are you, a dog? You're never coming back. You're back.
It's true. You wouldn't find one life-friendly world, but 3: Venus, Earth, and Mars.
Just real quick, just before the YouTube chat corrects us 1,000 times.
Yes.
Apparently, it is Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home.
Oh, is it 4?
Yeah.
I never saw any of them.
So they're
saw
just correcting
clips.
us on
I
which
saw
Star
clips.
Trek I was referencing with the whale joke.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, the YouTube comments would be nothing but you have the wrong Star Trek.
You're wrong.
Idiots.
So anyway,
3 planets.
4.5 billion
Yes.
years ago, Venus, Earth, and Mars were all very similar.
Okay.
Liquid water, our atmospheres were essentially the same. We all 3 planets could have hosted life.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
Global warming.
What happened was
makes
only
sense.
one of those planets proved to be truly sustainable for life long term.
Okay.
You have a lot of different factors that go into how a planet can sustain life.
Right.
Substantial atmosphere, substantial geomagnetic activity, substantial, just the right orbit. You have to be a certain distance from the sun, just the right size moon. I mean, there are a lot of factors that go into why the Earth has sustained us for this long. Mars didn't have those features. Venus didn't have those features, and things just kind of, went south.
Both
went
had
south.
human parasites
Okay.
living on them until we all migrated
Related.
to Earth. And
Yes.
we're gonna screw Earth over now.
Yeah. That's actually one of my theories.
I'm sorry to mean to jump
Related,
ahead.
but
Yeah.
kind of a tangent.
Yes.
Based upon what you said, this made me think about the movie The Martian with Matt Damon.
Okay.
Say, when did you suddenly
He was in
become
that?
Southern as hell?
Okay.
My question is, could we live on Mars again?
Define live.
How far of a stretch is the movie?
Not far at all. Actually, the movie's
The science is supposedly
mostly
very
accurate.
sound.
That's what I
yes.
thought.
yes.
I
The
thought
movie-
the science
the
was very
movie is
sound,
mostly accurate.
Which plays off what you're saying, that at one
Yes.
point the Mars could have hosted life.
yes.
And now it's just a barren wasteland, and we're just kind of
There's a lot of evidence that Mars, in fact, may still host life.
Well, yeah, that's a different show. We've done that one.
That is. Well, we mentioned it in
we should
an
do
episode.
that.
We
you
should
know what?
do
Changing
that.
topics. Mars has life. Go.
Mars has life.
Do all that research.
Did you ever
right now.
see the Red Planet cartoon back in the 90s?
Did you ever see Earth 2 in the 90s?
No.
That was a
It's a
terrible,
terrible show.
Oh,
But it was sci-fi.
It only lasted one season for a reason. Or was it two? Anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, it was awful.
I think it was
So,
one of those shows that had initial concept. Season 1 tanked. They renewed it for 2, and they started everything different.
Whoa.
Like it was just a total shift in everything.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Oh, we're stranded here. Now we have colonies everywhere. And
Okay.
yeah.
So, 4.5
Walking
billion
Dead.
years ago, all three planets could have hosted life.
right. Yes.
So that's kind of, what would you say, like Mars 1, Earth 1, Venus 1. So we're keeping score.
Okay.
On which planet can host life?
Okay.
Is it possible that we are from Mars? So far, yes.
Okay.
If all three planets could have hosted life, it's still possible.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing here is that our RNA, according to National Geographic, is one of the stumbling blocks to life starting on Earth. So basically, our RNA can't develop in water.
Okay.
So one of the basic building blocks, or one of the basic, not elements, but you need liquid water for basic life to form.
Mm-hmm.
But humans' RNA falls apart in water.
Okay.
So liquid water does not support the development of RNA, which is essential to the development of that basic initial human life form.
Another legit question.
Okay.
With pseudo-tangent related. So are you telling me that
Shocking.
every cloning tube device science fiction movie is wrong because they always have you in water when they try to recreate our
No, not
DNA?
necessarily. Okay.
I'm not a legit question.
Yeah, no. I think
not a
this
legit
this
It
will explain
was!
this. Okay.
This is not a legit
I
question.
didn't know that RNA breaks down in water. So I'm legitly asking.
Yes.
Because we just talked about how scientifically accurate The Martian is.
Right. Yes.
So are we saying like all cloning tubes are wrong?
So you're trying to tell me every
Well, I don't-
TV show and comic book I've ever read is inaccurate?
It is inaccurate. A little bit.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay. So I'll start this over. One of the stumbling blocks to life starting on Earth is the fact that water is almost universally accepted as necessary for the onset of life. And again, this is from National Geographic.
Right.
Yet RNA, which many consider to be the earliest expression of genetic replication and other essential precursor to life as we know it, falls apart if you try to build it in water. What keeps that from happening? Benner has, this is the scientist working on the project, Benner has found over the years of study is the presence of a form of the element boron. While geologists say boron was too scarce on early Earth to suppose any widespread creation of RNA, it was seemingly more abundant on early Mars. One sign of its presence on the red planet is that at least one meteorite has delivered some Martian boron to Earth. Benner has also found in his lab that if a form of the element, and I'm going to ruin this, molybdenum is
Molybdenum.
sure,
Where
we'll
were
go
you?
with it.
I'm not even
right
seeing
here,
it. Okay.
right here.
At that.
Molly Badium.
So that if a form of that element is added to the mix,
MOLYBDENUM. Just so that everyone can go with their own pronunciation.
yes.
Molly Badium.
Molybdenum it is.
The boron steadied. Compounds are rearranged to form a stable version of ribose, the R in RNA. So, Mars had the right elements.
Well, but and it even in the paragraph here it says that some of that bacteria could have come from Mars, asteroid or whatever.
Right.
Like, so
That's one of the earliest
hypothetically,
theories, yeah.
we could have the bacteria that grew us
Yes.
could have come from
Mars. Yes.
crashed here on Earth, and then developed.
Right.
And our Twitch chat is helping me. Human DNA and RNA cannot survive in water, but can be inside of water if, let's say, isolated. So tubes with liquids is fine as long as there's some kind of isolation, which is mainly the rest of the cell.
Thank you. Great.
The more you know.
The more you know. So, and you're absolutely right. So one theory is that Mars was struck with a meteor, and then that took some of the genetic
Some
material.
of the chunks
Yep.
came down to Earth.
Yes, made its way to Earth. Now, what's interesting there is that basic human life form, even at a single cell state, was developing on Mars. That means we would have been evolving at the same time.
Right.
And if that's true, we could potentially find like our ancestors on Mars.
Something similar.
Something similar
at
to
least.
us
That's the missing link in the evolution chain.
Is a Martian?
is a Martian.
Okay.
It's also interesting.
I'm helping with the
That-
conversation.
I mean, I didn't actually have a funny comment for that one.
It is also
maybe.
interesting that that Homo sapiens essentially just appear 310,000 years ago. They've actually dated it further back, but about 310,000 years ago, Homo sapiens just kind of appear, and then we essentially dominate the other humanoid species.
Well, there was it was a movie, and I can't remember the name of it now, where we were actually created on Mars, but then when Mars was
Attacked.
when basically it was like a global disaster, Mars was
Yeah,
becoming
it was,
Mars. They sent us to Earth.
What was it called?
It had what was his name?
I mean, this is a plot to a lot of movies, honestly,
Yeah, but
that we're from another planet.
It wasn't.
in actuality.
It wasn't Red Planet.
A lot of times
Was it
those
Red
movies
Planet?
we
I
go
thought it was
back
Red
and we
Planet.
find our
that
ancestors
was
and we
Val
realize the
Kilmer, I
whole
think.
deal.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that was the plot
was
of
the
a movie.
basic-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like they created us on Mars, or we were born on Mars, and then because the planet was dying, somebody sent us here.
Right.
Yeah.
To kind of start over.
Chat might be able to help us
fresh.
with the name of it.
Yeah.
So they say.
Mission to Mars?
No, they're still debating about
Mission
DNA.
to Mars. That was
It was
Yeah,
Mission
yeah,
to Mars.
Mission to Mars. Yep.
Mission to Mars. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mission to Mars. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
I was reading the chat to see what they
yeah.
said.
Let's see here.
I saw this one called
Where
Promethea.
are we?
Promethea.
Prometheus.
There you go.
Prometheus.
There you
Which is
go.
about aliens being
Yes.
seated on another planet by these weird, muscular white guys.
It's always a weird, muscular white guy. I don't know what it is. Anyway, keep going, Gary.
Okay. So besides the actual science behind the theory, there are other arguments that people have made for the possibility that we came from Mars initially. One is our lack of harmony with the Earth.
Yes, I will.
If
Yeah,
we,
I
if
will.
we
say that,
co-evolved
yeah.
with the Earth,
Right.
why do we seem to do so much damage to it?
Well, I mean, that's not because we co-evolved.
That's our evolution.
That's because evolution. We were like, what would be great? I mean,
Drilling.
Yeah, drilling and
Yeah, right.
yeah,
It's-
gasoline guzzling
right.
cars.
It's
you
our
know.
species' next step in just survival.
Yeah.
I mean, in all
I
honesty,
keep-
human beings don't need 99% of the things we
No, we
have
don't.
that do damage to the Earth
Yeah, it's just
to survive.
When
More
you're
of a
talking
comfort
about
thing.
basic human needs like water, shelter, food.
Yeah,
yeah, and you can have all that without damaging the planet.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I can guarantee if
We
a
just got
wolf
bored and needed
or,
smartphones.
or if like
Right.
dogs or whatever grew into like superhuman intelligence, they would probably do the same thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna walk around. That's stupid. I'm gonna make a car.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that's how that
Yeah.
car was first made.
Yes.
You want me to walk? Hold on. Let
I'm
me
pretty
go
sure-
invent a car. That's how.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it was Henry Ford.
Yeah, as 104 did it.
Yeah.
But we do find evidence of human beings essentially destroying the environment thousands of years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
You know, back before we understood like the dangers of monocropping, and you know, we would basically render entire regions lifeless because we what's the word I'm looking for? We farmed it to death.
Well, and
essentially.
to me,
I
that would
mean,
also be the, as we've evolved as a species, and gained, I guess not gained intelligence, but gained knowledge. Because early time, when we were like, we need to do this to survive, we don't realize we're killing off the planet.
But once again, we could still go back to the earliest caveman diets of like nuts and berries and things that don't damage the planet. Like we don't even need crops, and just as we gained more intelligence and we gained modern grains, and
it became like we don't want to wander around in nomadic tribes anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We started using farm animals
that's just that's how it's worked. At no point I think was mankind ever like, screw this planet. I mean, now we're
maybe now some people,
now we're used to it. So
that's the thing.
Yeah,
as we were gaining knowledge and intelligence, people weren't like, they made the car. They made the car just because it was more convenient. Nobody was like, I'm sure this stuff that's belching out the back is going to be killing the ozone layer.
What's the environmental impact?
Yeah,
that was
nobody was worried about
That's why it's
that.
such a big concern now, because they're like, we got to stop all that stuff we've been doing for the last 500 years.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're killing the planet.
That's like smoking and then learning like 20 years later that it's bad for you.
Yeah. So I'm not saying I understand
people smoking in the 60s didn't know it was bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, and what I'm saying is, because I kind of went on a tangent, but I'm trying to keep it on topic, is that I don't think it's that while we've evolved with the Earth, we're saying screw it, because it was just a lack of knowledge. I don't think it was like a legitimate like mankind just doesn't gel with the Earth.
Yeah.
I just think it was that.
Yeah. So we're destroying the environment because of a lack of information.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not because of a lack of concern.
Right.
Exactly.
Because you wouldn't willingly just burn your own house down because you feel
That's
like
what I'm saying. Yeah, nobody put asbestos in their house because they knew it gave them cancer. They just
I really
didn't
like
know.
lead paint.
Yeah,
just keep eating it, Andy. We don't need to buy food.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Right.
So
the latex paint, that's 10 cents more a gallon. I'm going to go with the lead paint.
sir, the lead paint gives you cancer.
But does it?
Another argument is now
chips?
again, some of these arguments are not necessarily like scientifically based as proof that we came from Mars.
Right.
It's more; these are more just questions that we have. One is the simple weight of gravity.
Okay.
The strain that the Earth's gravity puts on our bodies.
I'm aware of it. Trust
Now
me.
we might be accustomed. Yes, exactly.
My back is killing me right now.
Exactly. So
real quick, because the chat actually brought up some good points on that previous topic. I want to throw that in real fast.
Sure.
Because they brought up, the oil companies know they're destroying the Earth, yet they continue to do it.
Right. For money.
And Text, one of our viewers on Twitch, brought up, that's just greed and laziness. Yes, no, I agree. We've hit a point where it has become greed and laziness.
At this point,
it is.
yes, we are. But at early points.
Yes.
Is what I'm
that's
saying.
the argument we're making.
I think
the
it's
earliest points at the beginning, we didn't know we were doing so much damage.
It's a weird balance of greed, laziness, and genuine concern for the people that are hired to work with your company.
Yeah.
If you're an oil company and you have thousands of employees,
Are you just going to stop?
are you just going to stop and say,
so
"Hey
much
guys, go home"? Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what I'm saying is so much of our modern existence is based around fossil fuels and things like that.
Absolutely.
That oil companies realistically couldn't just suddenly go, and we're done.
We can't.
It wouldn't work. Society would
it would
break
crumble.
down.
Our society's built around these things.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, you can't just quit cold turkey.
That's why we all have to just stop, go live in the mountains, and just hunt and farm for our food.
Okay,
no
let's go.
farming.
All right. Yeah, no farming.
And you can't burn anything for heat because that actually creates
CO2 emissions. So let's go to
Animal
Mars.
skins and bundle up.
Now, what I find interesting about this theory, and this is a very popular theory among some conspiracy theorists, is that we started on Mars, came to Earth at some point. We don't really know when. There's no evidence for when that happened because we don't actually have necessarily concrete evidence as to when Mars became uninhabitable. There is evidence that Mars was irradiated at some point, and potentially evidence that there were nuclear explosions of some kind on Mars. Now, whether or not that was, I don't know the science behind it, that was some kind of reaction with like a meteor strike.
Or if there was an ancient war.
Or there was an ancient war, and that's a theory as well. That the Martians destroyed Mars and seeded the Earth.
I've seen that theory a lot, actually.
Yes.
And the more we look into Mars, I was thinking about, I feel like we've done a lot of space theories lately.
We have.
We should probably go back to the Earth. But anyway.
Space cool, man.
Yeah. That's actually one of my arguments here.
Space is cool?
No.
I was like, is that a legit argument?
No.
I actually kind of believe that everything we've discovered and the stuff they have found in Mars, the fact that it is a blue sky, Mars was populated at some point, and whoever was on it blew it up.
That's a genuine theory, and we're actually beginning to find, at least among conspiracy theorists, evidence of that.
Because Mars itself is, or at least was, somewhat was habitable.
Oh, very habitable.
Yeah.
Billions of years ago. Absolutely, yeah.
And so, and to this day, we can find evidence that it was.
Oh, yeah.
And using the science from The Martian again, it's still, well, I'm saying, technically,
Yes.
while we haven't been able to test it, the theory is that we would be able to populate Mars. There's just no actual resources or reason for us to go to Mars.
Correct.
Unless we find oil.
And then we go attack it?
And then Mars needs
In
some
which case,
freedom.
Yeah. If we find oil, that confirms life.
Right, that's true.
I mean, it absolutely would confirm abundant life.
Because that means,
at some point.
Because oil to these
Yes.
days is just all dinosaurs.
It is, yeah. Plants,
Yeah,
plants, animals.
We're going to run out of it, aren't we?
So what I find
always
interesting
more
about
plants
this is that if we did come from Mars and now we're on Earth, now we're fighting to get back to Mars and possibly terraform it, which may or may not work, because if you terraform Mars and it still has the weak magnetic core that it has, or the magnetic field that it has, then whatever atmosphere we end up creating is just going to blow away anyway. So terraforming Mars while people want to do it is maybe not the best idea.
Right.
Because you're fighting a losing battle there. Another one is, again, our obsession with Mars. Human beings have been obsessed with Mars from the earliest days.
Zach Prince says from what he's heard, it's more that Mars is smaller and the core is slowed and solidified soon.
Yep.
So the magnetosphere was lost sooner, so the atmosphere was depleted
Yes.
easier and sooner by radiation and solar wind from the sun.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying, is that because of its weak magnetic field, it has one, but it's incredibly weak, that the atmosphere isn't strong enough to support life. It's too thin. It's way too thin. So too much CO2 here is a bad thing. If we replicated that on Mars, it would actually be a good thing, because that would mean our atmosphere on Mars would be thickening,
Right.
which could support human life. So we need to get a bunch of cars.
But
to
on the
Mars.
Martian,
But you need to leave that movie
Yeah.
alone.
So argument number 3 is that we just have this obsession with Mars.
I've
and
always,
the
almost-
Martian.
I've always
and
had
the Mars.
I've always had an obsession with Mars since I discovered the John Carter books when I was like 14.
Does anyone else
why
have a
not?
weird urge to watch The Martian right now?
I love that. Oh, that's a
It's
great
just
film.
you, actually. Right
No,
now.
I
I'm
love
gonna
that
go
film.
home and watch John Carter.
When we're
Mars.
done, we're going to sit on the couch and watch this.
Harry Gregson Williams made an amazing soundtrack.
Yes.
So we have this obsession with Mars, and that some would argue with that this is just a part of our DNA or our RNA. That
It's because it's our
this
ancient home.
Yes, that is exactly right. That is one argument.
I don't know what I'm looking
That
at.
our obsession,
that's a wall.
our obsession with Mars is that it's something in us is calling
Right.
us to go back, and that pretty much ends there.
There's no place like home.
The human tendency.
They can't see my feet.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
Just keep going, Gary.
This would be the human another argument is the human tendency to favor colder climates. Not cold like bitter cold.
Right.
Just cooler.
Where you're
climates.
not sweating all the
Yes.
time.
you're talking about us here in Colorado, aren't you?
Yes.
It's so nice here today. It's 50 degrees. I love it.
It's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So another argument, yes, is that human beings, our bodies operate at their absolute best in 70 degrees.
I've maintained that for a long time.
Go look at my AC.
That's what I keep my AC
Yep.
at. Yeah.
So our body's ability to regulate its systems, keep organ function at
Right.
peak,
You don't need any of that.
and body temperature, all of that is actually at 70 degrees. So you have to be in an environment that is cooler than your actual ambient body temperature.
Okay.
Otherwise, you start throwing your systems off.
Okay.
Another argument is the damage of the sun on our bodies. Mars is much further from the sun than the Earth is. That if we actually evolved on the Earth, you'd think we'd have a better resistance to the sun.
Like I shouldn't step outside for 2 hours, come back with a sunburnt nose because I forgot
Yes.
sunscreen.
But if we were on Mars, the solar radiation isn't as intense, or at least at one time it wasn't.
Because
So
now it
if
is,
we-
because there's a thin atmosphere, right?
On Mars, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's incredibly terrible. I don't know. So halfway down the list, what do you guys think of that?
I mean, at this point, I feel.
I think I'm a Martian.
Oh my lord, with the Martian. I feel like these are just kind of like reaching. I don't feel like
sure.
you know what I'm saying.
Well,
Obviously, you could make the argument about
These
some of the other
are-
ones, the scientific facts.
Right.
These are definitely people who are like,
These are philosophical
Yeah,
questions.
exactly.
Right. Yeah,
So-
these are not scientific questions. Well, they're
because I mean, this is also
yeah.
This is also depending on the individual. Because there's some people who like my wife. She likes it a lot warmer than I do. That some people
Yep.
don't burn as badly in the sun. Some
Yes.
like some people don't care about Mars. like, yes, mankind as a whole, we do, I think, have like a fascination
Absolutely.
with anything out in space, really
Sure.
exploring. But some people just don't care.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these are all just, it has to depend on the individual person.
Okay.
I've already kind of said what I think about a lot of this theory about Mars and everything. I totally believe it could potentially be, but Andy is right.
Yeah.
A lot of this is personal preference kind of a deal.
Yep.
Oh, humans function the best at 70 degrees. Yeah, well, Natalie functions better at 73. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
Yep.
to me, these wouldn't be
men are from
reasons.
Mars because we like it 70, but the women are from Venus because they like it at 80.
There's an argument there.
That's the
Yeah.
next conspiracy.
Yeah.
Where are women really from?
Yes. And
Think about it. No, I got it. I'm come up with the whole theory right now. Men
Hold on,
actually-
before you say anything, remember we're on the internet. Now
That's
proceed.
fine. Men are actually, right? So all 3 planets were habitable. So men were on Mars, right? And then we screwed it up. And so we all had to come to Earth. Well, women also accidentally screwed up Venus, and then they had to come to Earth, and we all combined.
oh.
See?
And we met each other and we said, oh, finally we can reproduce.
I was just thinking that. I'm like,
Exactly.
how do we
Wait.
reproduce when we're on separate planets?
No, I got that too. All right, we on Mars we used to lay eggs.
I was going to go with the Mocklin thing too. Yeah.
They've been watching too much Orville.
Another
really
one.
good show.
Another one is kind of related to our obsession with Mars and history, but it's our incessant desire to explore.
But see, that's not just out into outer space because
Right.
a lot of people who want
That's to explore anything.
anything. Like,
Anything.
I mean, our own ocean is
Yep.
well, we haven't explored. What is it, like 90% of it or something like that?
Right.
Some crazy high
I
number.
insist that there is a sea monster down there and Atlantis.
Of course you do. Probably in the movie The Martian.
They found garbage at the bottom of the Marinara Trench.
Is that because of us?
It's right off of
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah, there's like
Marinara
they
Trench.
finally reached, I think, essentially the bottom of the Marinara Trench, and I actually called it that.
I know.
Mariana Trench.
I love it.
I got that in his head.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's off the coast of Italy, isn't it?
and no one reacted.
And,
He was like, wait, am I screwing it up?
They found fish, they found life, and they found garbage from mankind, all the way at the bottom of the ocean.
But I'm like,
So, anyway.
mankind has always had the urge to explore. Even
Yes.
even back when our maps weren't full. You know,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
like, hey, what's out that way? Everybody
Right.
get in the boat. Let's go. Let's
go.
To the
find
west
it.
of Westeros.
Yeah, exactly.
The last
So,
10 boats didn't come back. Let's go.
Let's do another one. It'll
Let's
be
do another
fine.
one. Yeah. This one will be different.
11's the magic number.
But I mean, so that's just
Yep.
that's not merely a space thing.
Sit on this.
Yeah.
This new chair is not working for
Yeah,
Nate.
I don't like
Okay.
it. It's hurting my back. I'll be honest.
Hello.
I was gonna sit like this the whole time
So we said,
Why?
because it actually my back doesn't hurt as bad if I sit like this.
It's that Earth gravity.
Yeah,
you got
it's
to
just
go to
killing me.
30% gravity on Mars.
I'm doing broken back syndrome. I could totally be like an Instagram model.
Just gotta arch it a little bit more.
There we go.
Keep going, Gary. I'm listening.
There's more evidence that life. Oh, got an ad. that that life on Earth, human life on Earth, may have come from space.
Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not just Mars. Maybe we're from somewhere else.
See, that's the other. Everybody's like Mars. I mean, it could be somewhere else. There's so
Why?
many.
Why do we have to come from right
exactly?
next door?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could make the argument that it was outside of our galaxy, our solar system, and yada yada yada. And they just
That
ended
is
up
actually
here.
one argument that the meteor that hit the Earth that may have brought the basic seeds of life on Earth didn't come from Mars, but it came from somewhere millions of light years away.
Yeah.
And that we may never see our other celestial home, wherever it is. This article comes from Gaia.com. It's Are Humans Actually Aliens on Earth? There is
What
evidence.
is Gaia.com?
Oh, this is like the hotbed of everything conspiracy and weird and new agey and yeah.
Okay.
So you got a
Crystals,
glowing
man.
person in this picture.
I like
That's
I actually like the picture. It's really
Yeah.
really cool. Looking.
Evidence of seeding. In January 2015, the British publication The Express published a photo of a strange-looking microscopic rock that was shooting out biological material. That's an interesting image.
Usually we're not. You know what? I'm not even gonna. Make
Scientists speculated that the biological material could contain genetic material, the precursor to life. Several scientists expressed one theory of its origin. It was sent to Earth by some unknown civilization in order to continue seeding the planet with life, because we need more of it. Seeding refers to
Well, nearly enough on the
plantation of foreign organisms, and blah, 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 we already covered that. One of the questions that this brings up is, are we being watched? Professor Milton Wainwright from the University of Buckingham Center for Astrobiology and his team inspected and analyzed the rock and its biological contents. They theorized that it not only pointed to the existence of extraterrestrial life, end quote, but to complex and civilized beings watching our planet. Could this be true?
I mean, it is possible. Like, I mean, I said,
Yeah.
you know, we could just be a giant ant farm. And it's possible that some vastly superior intelligent alien race was like, hey, look at this bluish greenish planet over here. It kind of has a good atmosphere. What if we tried to create life there? All right, shoot a rock at it.
And that was Atlantis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That was Atlantis. Shoot a rock at it.
shoot a rock at it.
Shoot a rock
Well,
at
I mean, obviously I'm paraphrasing, but
No, that was the conversation.
it. So what all
What
this...
kind of rock? Any
Yeah.
rock, Steve. Just throw it.
Steve, just shoot a rock at it.
We had our names from somewhere.
Yeah, right.
You know, all of this begs the question: are aliens among us? If we are technically the aliens on this planet,
Okay.
then we essentially wiped out the other humanoid life forms, which we did.
Right.
We survived. We wiped them
yeah,
out. We
yeah.
probably weren't very nice to them.
That
We
would
weren't-
explain
we weren't-
legit response to that.
Yeah.
That would explain the what?
Nathanderol?
Yeah, that one.
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal?
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal.
I like Nathanderol.
All the
Nathanderol.
nations came from there.
Yeah.
And caveman and stuff like that.
Yes.
How there's no, because the people, the believers of evolution are always looking
Yes.
for that missing link that will connect the early man to
Yes.
later man.
Yes.
What if there is none? Because we're the alien.
Because
we
we're not
killed
actually
them
from
off.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
actually
It's a good question.
Scott Snyder comic, by the way.
Was it
The Wake.
Is that the plot?
Yeah.
where we just like wipe out Neanderthals?
like the humans
Na-
show up
Nathanols?
on the planet, and
Yeah.
basically we wiped out the other ones, and then eventually they come back and they're pissed off
Why were they mad?
because we wiped most of them out.
Well, the article continues. Are aliens among us? In 1999, a contact inside the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, an insider, because
God, how many of them are
Yeah.
there?
We have
told,
an insider for EM. I was going to go to Andy's Instagram. He's our insider.
did you go to the insider meetings?
Yeah,
Like the
it's
brunch-
just me though.
The insider brunches? Oh, no, I mean like the insider.
Oh, like there's like a
Are
big
you an
meeting
insider?
all of
Yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah.
I have the inside information on a really low budget podcast show. What do you guys got? Oh,
Yeah.
NASA? Let me go chat with you.
Yeah.
Did you know we're actually aliens? What? I love coming to these things. I learned so much.
We got you your insider card, membership card.
I hear they have great mimosas. His job was
That came out of nowhere.
insider brunches. Like, you know,
I
they have
think
a
he wants a
brunch.
mimosa.
That actually would be
could
pretty
go for
good.
a mimosa
Let's
right
get you
now.
more whiskey
Yeah.
after this.
His job was okay.
He's just
So
drinking
this
whiskey
reporter,
every day at work.
You got this, Gary. Go ahead.
this insider from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency told a reporter his job was to analyze and monitor 3 extraterrestrial groups who were and likely still are inhabiting Earth. The source said the alien species lives inside mountains, under the earth, and sea in deep caverns. This is
Why?
going. This is going where you think it's going, Benny. The source
Lizard people!
possibly.
Nazi lizard people!
Yes. The source expresses belief that the ETs have a great deal of control over the planet and its inhabitants. He said the aliens have links to Mars, Sirius, and Zeta Reticula 1 and 2. Oh, and 2. That's nice. The aliens living on Earth look very similar to humans. They
But
have,
the lizards!
they have a head, 2 eyes, a mouth, 2 legs, and 2 arms. They check all the boxes. They regularly study humans and take sperm. DNA and other
taking it from me.
DNA and other bodily samples. Bodily samples of what? The aliens may be feces. The aliens may be trying to manipulate human genetics. See, even when I try to keep this serious, we always end up on some of these like really
Well, you're the one who's talking about
wild-
human DNA samples.
I know. The aliens may be trying to manipulate human genetics in order to create artificial mutations. Is it possible we are the product of an ancient alien species that continues to study, observe, and manipulate humans for reasons we don't know?
All right, I got it.
That is the question. We were created here on Earth, and they're still here observing us.
So it's the hollow Earth theory, but the inside of the Earth is actually just like a giant laboratory, and there's like cameras set up, and they're watching us.
There's cameras everywhere. So it's like,
That would explain why those lizard people are hiding, because we're just an experiment.
Right.
Yeah.
We're a biodome.
You find-
we
yeah,
went
exactly.
in to pee and we got locked in here.
You find one, then there's like a lizard person in like a lab coat with glasses, and he's like, "Oh, have you been watching the comic story and podcasts? I don't know. I think we should cancel that experiment."
My house just blows up. They're getting too close. Press the button.
I, for
They're
one, would
getting
like
too
to greet our
close.
alien overlords.
So, my theory ultimately on this is that maybe we are from Mars. The reptilians are from the Earth. They evolved here.
And we've kicked them out and they're scared to
We've
come
kicked them
hiding.
out. And aliens are just time traveling versions of us.
Why would we be time traveling to come
That's a
back here?
theory that we like evolved to look like the Greys, and then when
No, I got
when we
that, but
see
what
the
would-
Greys, yeah,
What would be the point of coming back to look at us? Like, look how goofy we look.
just
Look at that one. His head was really round.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's red
what
in
is
his beard.
what is this hair? Hair. That's what you call it.
Why are they all dressed like that?
Yeah. Wait, why would we time travel? To study our origins. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
why do
mean,
archaeology when you could just go back in time?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe we're from Mars. Oh, you wrote that into your script?
Yes, I
I
did.
thought you were clever.
They're my words.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I like that. You're like, you wrote that in the script? I thought you were clever. I thought you came up with that one on the spot.
I did 4 hours ago. So that's basically the theory that humans are from Mars in some way.
I think
some
it's possible.
form.
I do think it's possible.
Okay.
I need a little bit more concrete evidence, but the possibility is actually there for like I believe we could have come from Mars.
Yeah.
You know, I think not to go deep into religion, but we are religious, and at least I'm a religious person. You're a religious person.
Yes.
Andy's kind of on the fence.
Well, no, I'm on the side of the fence. Don't you worry about that.
But on the same token, there's no real concrete evidence for that.
Not
that
necessarily.
requires faith.
Yeah.
So what I'm stating is,
Yeah.
if you could give me concrete evidence for our origins from anything,
Well, and that's the thing.
if
Is
you're
that-
like, hey,
yeah.
you're from a petri dish, and here's the dish, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
now I know where I'm from.
And that's the thing. If there was concrete evidence, there wouldn't be a debate.
yeah.
Like there wouldn't be a question anymore. But there's no concrete evidence. I mean, there's a lot of evidence for evolution. There's also a lot of evidence for panspermia, some form of it that our material came from somewhere else.
I'm going to start calling it spermia.
There's evidence for intelligent design because you
Right.
look at how fragile everything is. Like, well, how could life develop here? Everything had to be just right. And so you look at the factors that go into just evolution itself. And so, yeah, every side of the argument has things going for it and against it.
Yep.
Every argument does. So even us coming from Mars has things going for it and things going
That's what I
against
mean. Like, it
things
is
going
feasible.
against it. Yes.
But there's no
now
no one showed up and said, oh, look at this photo
Right.
of some humans on Mars going,
yeah, we found this old photo book on Mars. Yeah.
What is this? That's a
Is that
Polaroid.
weird? Is that a fraternity? Yeah. Oh, don't look.
it's a bunch of Martians
Yeah.
mooning the
Yeah,
photo.
exactly.
It's a Martian kegger.
So you look at the evidence that life could have been supported on Mars, and very well was. We still are looking at evidence that maybe there is still basic bacterial life form on Mars, water, methane, blue skies, all of it. And some of the strange sites on Mars. Now, a lot of that is open to interpretation, like the face on Mars and the potential pyramids.
The Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was Game of Thrones.
That was Game of Thrones. And they've like claimed to have seen like engine blocks just like sitting on Mars that have eroded over millions of years.
What is that
so
one
the-
photo
the-
where somebody thought there was like a crab or something like
Yeah,
that? And it was
yeah.
just
There's like a
and it
crab on like a
wasn't.
rock.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Yeah. So what I find interesting is that when they have to interpret those photos to support their arguments, they zoom way in on the photo.
Right, that way you can't really see
Yes,
what it
it's
is.
pixelated, and then they get an artist's rendering
Yeah.
of what it could look like, and they
Yeah.
say, "Look, this is what I'm telling you it is." You know. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty out there. But the evidence that maybe Mars was inhabited by humans as we know them today, or at least
Right.
some form of us, maybe we've evolved a little bit, and we destroyed it.
Yeah.
That's
it's possible.
that's the popular conspiracy side of things, is that we are from Mars, we destroyed it, we came here because we wanted to flee the oncoming destruction.
So you gotta jump ahead thousands and thousands of years from now, right?
Yeah.
We've destroyed
Right.
the Earth. we've rocket shipped away, landed on another planet, and then there's going to be a podcast of people
And
who
forgotten
are
everything.
sort of similar
Yes.
to us.
Yes.
But
we
with
sh-
antennas?
Yeah, like antennas
They
and
were
maybe
green-skinned.
maybe 6 fingers or something. They're like,
More
that
hair.
we didn't come from this planet. Like, I don't
That's
know.
wild.
That's crazy.
yeah, there's this planet called Earth. Like, no, we didn't come from there. That's absurd.
It's a wasteland. I don't know.
We don't have high pitched voices.
I would
We
love
didn't come from there. That's a fan.
It's not us.
because
It's
there's
different
there's
podcasters.
helium in the atmosphere that makes everybody speak more high pitched. So I actually want this episode to end with like a flash forward, like 5 billion years later.
Well, if we were
And
doing
it's
like a
just us
TV
doing
show,
it.
yeah. This was a TV show. That was definitely how this would end.
or if we had any kind of a budget, we would just have costumes.
Yeah,
That would also
any
work.
sort of budget. Yeah. So that's basically the theory. Again, there's like with the RNA, that is interesting to me. That
Yes.
Mars actually showed more potential, or has shown more potential to be kind of an incubator for early life than even the Earth was.
The Cylons sent us there to grow humans and then brought us back.
The Cylons
That doesn't make any sense.
sent us to Mars
To grow
humans.
Right.
even though we're humans.
Right. No, the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica grew the humans on Mars. And brought
That's
them
not
back
what
to
you
us.
said.
They grew them like sea monkeys.
They just found a body of water and went, sprinkle it in.
Did you feed them? Ah, crap! I'll let the humans die again.
I'll let the humans die again. Oh, wow.
And they
So-
held up the little jar. They're like, my humans look
Okay.
weird.
So what you're saying is that Mars was the experiment. Okay.
For the Cylons.
For the Cylons. There you have it, people. Cylons created mankind on Mars. We
Also,
were basically their
We
sea
created
monkeys.
the Cylons
It's
in
an
that
infinite
show.
loop.
All of this has happened before.
It's true.
We
All
don't know
of
where it
this will
started.
happen
It
again.
just loops every time. Go get in your sea monkey pen.
I think we could end it there.
Go get your sea
So-
monkey pen. Cut.
Anyway, final thoughts.
That you should subscribe to Tales of Earth to get this show every week, or on SoundCloud, or on Spotify, or on iTunes. As far as I know, we're on all of them. You can also support the show by buying our merchandise. We have a Cthulhu shirt, that's our mascot, and the I Love the Conspiracy shirt. Because we love
the Illuminati.
I love
so
the
much.
Illuminati shirt. My bad.
I was going to say, I was like, do we have a new shirt?
Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Where can they find us, Benny?
Tales of Earth, Comic Historian, Eligible Monster, Film Circuit.
Yep. And for I Am the Andy
There it is.
on Instagram.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Are we from Mars? Or are we from somewhere else? Or are we just from here and it's all boring and
I'm from Europa.
normal? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Sounds so bad.
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Same thing. Yeah. Thank you for watching.